All right, welcome back, guys. Today we're taking a look at this killer solo from Mr. Dave Meniketti from the band Y&T. This is Summertime Girls. Make the whole world go around, according to Dave, and who am I to argue? All right, so of course, I got to wear my shades since it's summertime girls. It's that time of year. It's feeling like it's time to hit the beach. And actually, the real reason why I'm wearing the sunglasses is I've got some allergy stuff, and my eyes are a little buggy and red, and it doesn't look too good on the camera. So I thought I'd just wear some shades in honor of Summertime Girls today. If that's all right with you, we'll continue on. Hopefully it won't be too big of a distraction for you. All right, so this is a simple solo. It's got a cool fast lick in it. Like most Dave Meniketti stuff, it's got the great bending and phrasing. It's a short solo. It's a really poppy song. I remember when this first came out in 1985, it was on the Open Fire record, and that was kind of a mixed bag of tunes on that album. I really grew to love it, but this song, it took me a little while to warm up to because I was used to the moody, epic songs from Y&T, the hard-hitting rock and roll stuff, and then you get this really poppy, major key, basically a pop song, but man, it is infectious, and now I love it because it just puts me in a good mood as soon as I hear the riff. And this solo is classic Dave, just really cool, major key solo here. So this will be a little bit of a workout for you guys that are used to minor key stuff. It'll kind of stretch your fretboard knowledge a little bit to be playing in a major key if you're not used to that. It's in the key of E major, and we'll get to that in just a sec. Before we get started, if you're looking for the tab, there'll be a PDF tab, Guitar Pro tab, and a backing track for this. Head on over to my Patreon page. You'll see the link in the description for that. And also there's a free sweet picking guide for you sweet picking fans out there, those of you wanting to get into learning just the basics of sweet picking, looking for some good exercises and that sort of thing. It's my free gift to you. Make sure and check that out also in the description below. So let's get to it. I have a feeling this will be a fairly short lesson because it's a short solo and fairly straightforward. So after it comes in after the chorus. It's kind of hanging out on this A chord before the first note. So it'd be like from the chorus. There's an A chord. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you're coming in before the 1. I think it's on the end of 3. 1, 2, 3. And so if you're trying to play along with this, keep in mind that it doesn't come in right on the first beat of the chord progression. The chord progression, by the way, is basically we're playing over an A. This interesting part here is we're playing over an A to a B, but it's all rooted in the key of E major. That's because these are chords from the key of E major here. But one thing that happens is since A and B are the 4 and 5 chord in the key of E, we almost get kind of a modal sound because that's what's happening. That's the way the solo sounds over these two chords. And basically we're playing A. Like that, to A major to B major. You could play these triads here. I think of the actual tune, Dave's doing something like. something like that, where he's kind of arpeggiating it. But for the solo part, I think it's a little bit more straightforward, just an A to B kind of a chord progression there. But we're playing the E major scale. So if we look at that right here, and then moving up a little bit to this position. That's right out of the E major pentatonic scale, as well with some extended note there with the pinky, and I'll show you that lick in a second. So just kind of get your bearings there. It's E major scale, but kind of a modal sound playing over that A and the B chord, and it sounds awesome. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is slide into 11 on the D, then 9 on the G, and our landing note, this would be on the one beat, the first beat of the first chord in the chord progression, is going to be a B note, 12th fret B string. And then, okay, so we're going to play 10 to 9, pull off on the B, and then 11, G, slide to 13, back to 11, and what I'm doing is picking it again and then sliding it, returning to 11 and then picking that again. A lot of the magic here is in the articulation of the notes. Notice the vibrato there. In general, Dave has a quicker vibrato than I do. He's got really kind of a stinging vibrato. So if you want to sound like Dave, speed it up a little bit like that. It's a little more aggressive. And then it was 10 to 9 on the B, 11 G, slide to 13, back to 11 on the G. And this is 9 on the G, slide back to 8. Pick it again and slide it back up. And then your landing note here would be 11 on the D string. Okay, that's a C sharp note. Good to know the names of the notes, by the way. Especially when you get in unfamiliar keys. Just kind of making sure you're familiar with the notes here. Okay, so we have this so far. Okay, now right on the heels of this, we're going to play. I love that lick. I love how he gets from here to here without really doing anything too flashy. It's just super melodic, and it makes sense from a shifting, point of view. So I'm playing 9 on the G. 11 on the G. But you don't really hear these. This is a quick slide to 13. Just hope you can kind of. And then it's 12 on the B and the high E. And then slide from 14 up to 16. And that's a D sharp note there. Okay, so here's what we have so far. Now you ready for the fast lick? Here we go. Okay, a little quicker. This is all alternate pick, by the way. So I start with a downstroke. So the basic pattern is 14 to 17 on the B, 14, 16, 14 on the high E, 17 on the B. Now when you go back up the second time, we're going to play 14, 17 B, 14, 19 high E, back to 17. The rest of it's the same. So you're just swapping out 19 on the high E for the 17 every other time. So the first time it's, I'm sorry, you're swapping out 19 for 16 every other time. So the first time it's 16 on the high E, then 19, 16, 19, 16, but this time we're going to slide up, and that is 19, 17, and then 21, 19 on the high, oh, it's all on the high E, and then bend up 21 up a whole step several times. Actually, bend it first, and then you're going to repick it. That's what I meant to say, because we want to keep this note ringing out. So, like that. If you watch Dave play live, he's kind of repicking the note. So, at the very end, you're bending up 21 a whole step, so it sounds like 23, which I don't have 23 frets on my guitar, but should sound like that. And so you get this at the end. With the fast lick, it would sound like this. All right, and then you're back into the chorus chords. So let me do this. Let me play the whole thing kind of at a slowish to a medium tempo, and I think you guys will have this. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Always love covering Y&T, and Dave Meniketti is one of my favorite singers, as well as guitar players and songwriters. If you haven't seen Y&T live, go check them out, man. They put on one of the best shows still at their age. And thank God Dave Meniketti's doing well. I know he had some health scares recently, but he seems to be in remission now, and we're all happy about that in the hard rock and metal community. So, Dave, if you ever see this, man, we love you, and thanks for the inspiration. So, all right, so that's it, guys. Head on over to Patreon if you want the tab and the backing track for this, and make sure you grab that free sweet picking guide down below, and I'll see you next time. Rock on.